And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live session of Men of High Value. My name is Joseph Darling, and today we're going to talk about how focus is the key. Follow one course until successful. Let's see here. Put up the chat. Whoever is online is now welcome to chat. Perfect. Focus is the key. What did I write yesterday? In today's video, we will talk about the dangers of diversification. Now, so what does that mean? Well, let me tell you something. Everyone has this problem. When we grow up as children, we are toddlers, we're babies, we're toddlers, and then we become we're children. And during that time, we are very feminine. To be feminine really, in general, means that we're easily distracted because of our emotions. And our emotions cause us to get distracted. An event happens to us, and instead of looking at something, the event that distracted us will get us to focus there instead. But it's not focus because we've just been distracted in that direction. But then we can be distracted again in this direction. And then we get distracted again in this direction. Like, can you imagine a baby that has 10 people looking at it when it's just born, and someone tries to get its attention? Okay, maybe not when it's just born, but you understand, if you have 3 different people talking to you at the same time, they're gonna have a problem being distracted and not being able to focus. This is a thing with relationships as well. If you have for example, when it comes to sexual relationships, if you have too many girls, obviously you will be distracted. You won't be able to develop depth with any of them because you have too many balls in the air. Does that make sense? Or when it comes to sports, if you're playing basketball, you can't be looking on the sidelines, you can't be thinking about your coach, you can't be thinking about other things outside of the game because you will be distracted. You're diversifying your attention. Focus. Follow one course until successful. It's a perfect acronym for focus. So what does this have to do with business? Well, you can probably imagine, as an entrepreneur, for some weird, strange reason, entrepreneurs are usually very creative, and they have a hard time being disciplined because they think powerful thoughts, but that is, it's almost opposite to discipline. An entrepreneur actually has to do both. He has to be disciplined and he has to be creative. So he has to tap into both those things. And to be disciplined actually basically means to be focused. Because if you're trying to do something and you're trying to do it, but you're thinking about other things, or you get distracted and look in different directions, you won't be able to finish this specific task or goal as fast as possible. And that's a problem because focusing on one task at a time is the only way that you get momentum, that you get flow, and that you get an exponential growth curve. Okay, so in Stephen R. Covey's fantastic book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he speaks about you wanting to cut one tree at a time. Imagine a woods where you have 100 trees, and instead of cutting away at one tree and then getting that tree to fall down, which would take probably 100 chops, you then take 100 chops, but you take 1 chop at every, or at 100 total trees. Which task is most effective? You gotta chop that one tree first, because or else you'll never be able to finish the whole woods eventually. You'll give up because it just takes too darn long, and I don't have time for this, and there's no reason or purpose for me to cut all these 100 trees because I don't have what it takes. I thought that they were going to fall down with maybe 3 chops each. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to focus. So I had a very, very hard time with this, and I've still had a hard time with this, because as an entrepreneur you get so many different ideas, and you have so many different interests and passions, or you don't have any ideas, and so you're looking at too many different things. Instead, I would focus on just picking one thing. Alright? In the beginning you won't know what you love. In the beginning you won't know what drives you, what creates your passion. And that's why you just need to take one thing at a time and then make it your own. Own it. And then once you own it, you chop away at it like crazy until someone joins you and you guys start chopping away at that tree together. And then someone else joins you and you chop away at that tree together. Very quickly that tree is going to collapse. And then that means that you are now able to move on to another project because you've got success under your belt. Focus. It's the one thing that people have the hardest time to do. If you're able to focus, you will be able to be at the top together with the very few elite people in the world. Focus, not being distracted. And once you have focused and then you succeed, very often people now turn away or get distracted by the beautiful things that they can purchase or the beautiful girls that they now can get because they're rich. But you have to keep doing what you have done in order to keep it and in order to create passive income. And then once you know it's steady and so you've replaced yourself with someone that's maybe better than you, then you can chop away at the next tree. Focus. Follow one course until successful. If you do that, amazing things can happen. Absolutely amazing. And you're gonna join us at the top. I'll see you again tomorrow.